A popular way to view the character of Claudius is through a Machiavellian lens. What is a Machiavellian lens, one might ask? To successfully answer this question, it is first essential to address who Machiavelli was and what his ideas were. Niccolo Machiavelli was an Italian politician and patriot born in 1469 in Florence, Italy. He wrote a small pamphlet, The Prince, in which he detailed a guide, more or less, of how a prince should maintain power. According to Machiavelli, being a successful ruler is not about being nice or likable, but rather about being manipulative, assertive, and sometimes even backstabbing. All that matters is that the ends justify the means. Now that we've addressed the whats of Machiavelli, let's delve into the importance of the Machiavellian lens when engaging in analysis of Claudius. Firstly, it is obvious that Claudius has no qualms when it comes to murdering his brother for the sole purpose of obtaining the Danish crown. Under a Machiavellian lens, this may be deemed an acceptable action, as the murder of his brother, King Hamlet, justifies the end result of Claudius becoming king. Pretty simple. It is also important to note Claudius's use of spies throughout the play. The spies are indicative of Claudius's treacherous and sly methods in gaining the upper hand over his subordinates. By using spies, Claudius not only avoids the consequences of being a spy himself, but also is able to receive further information.
It is now that I will hide myself within the dark shadows of the King and Queen's private parlor room and seek to damage their already crumbling relationship. The King is already suspicious of the Queen and my relationship. He can sense her slipping away, yet he is incapable of remedying the situation. When I last spoke to the Queen, she voiced her grievances to me. I advised her to speak frankly with the King, knowing that he would be unreceptive and the conversation would end in disaster. I hear the Queen's footsteps coming now. Now it is time for that conversation to take place.
My darling.
Oh, good evening, dear. How are you on this fine winter night?
Quite fine, thank you.
You seem a little troubled.
I don't wish to be bothersome.
No. Tell me, what's on your mind?
Well, it's just as of late, I've been feeling rather neglected, and like right now, you're not even looking at me. I know you have a lot on your plate, but I'm your wife and I deserve attention.
Oh, Gertrude, now is not the time for you to become burdensome. I'm on the brink of going to war with Norway, and I don't need any more of your complaints on my head right now.
But can't you understand what I'm saying? A wife can only go so long without her husband, and for the past few months you've been miles away.
Gertrude, enough! This country's needs are a lot more important than yours right now. Please, I'm pleading with you.
Your words are empty. I'm alone, and the loneliness is tearing me apart. The only one who can console me is Claudius. You could learn a thing or two from him. He listens to me, unlike you who brush everything I say off as nonsense.
Claudius? Claudius? Don't you say a word about Claudius!
Here it begins. There is a spark and the fire will follow.
Why shouldn't I speak of Claudius? For the past few months he's been a dear friend for me, and he's taken care of me.
Yes, yes. I've heard of your blossoming friendship with my treacherous brother. From every corner of the castle have come rumors, telling me of late walks and private meetings. On numerous occasions I have had close advisors warning me of your relationship with Claudius, but up to this moment I simply brushed them off. Now I can see that there is some truth to those rumors. How dare you embarrass our family, our reign, and myself with such treacherous behavior?
This was not what I was anticipating, and now this talk is taking a dangerous turn.
My lord, how do you suggest I respond?
I would like you to refute all the accusations of your adultery. So my deepest fear has been realized. You come in here trying to place guilt on my head when it is you who is to blame. Why, Gertrude? Why?
See you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget.
So he knows. But what will come of it? Had my actions been in vain, dear Gertrude, I used her viciously in hopes that their marriage would dissolve and Hamlet's reign would come to a close. But of course, Hamlet will continue ruling despite the conditions and will do nothing to Gertrude. This means I'll have to take more drastic measures, anything to secure the throne for myself.
How dare he? How dare he? I am the king of this country. It is I who has preserved this land, guarded its people from enemies, and improved the quality of life for all. How dare Claudius do this? Claudius, who has envied me all his life, whose jealousy has burdened our relationship since childhood, who since my father's death has done nothing but tear down my reign and look for any opportunity to shame me in front of my people.
How dare he?
So he's known all along. There is not an option now but to kill him.
And Gertrude, my sweet Gertrude, my companion all these years. How could she do this to me? Embarrass, nay, shame me like this, in front of the court, the entire country. Gertrude, who was born my child, who has been instrumental in my happiness all of these years. How her accusations have cut me to the bone. How her actions have broken my heart. What to do? Exile the both of them? Leave them in their guilt, to rot in some distant land, where their past is inescapable. No, not Gertrude. I could never, ever to Gertrude. But Claudius.
So he looks to dispose of me himself? Well, I must get to him first.
All of this talk makes me weary. I will sleep, and when I awake, I will make a final decision. If only my dear son Hamlet were here to guide me in my thoughts.
Yes, sleep, dear brother. Sleep and never wake. Continue to accuse me of jealousy long into your slumber, you arrogant, selfish man. My life has been spoiled from your blatant lack of concern for others. But that phase of life is over. It is time for Claudius to rise up and take what is rightfully his. Goodbye, brother. May your soul never rest and struggle to live as mine has.
what you say. That you only meant well, but 'cause you did what you say. And it's all for the